everyone, today we're gonna make Moringa pandesal or Malunggay pandesal. Okay, so let's prepare the dry ingredients. So we just need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and then 2 cups of bread flour, and then we also need a half cup of granulated sugar, and 1/4 cup of Moringa powder. We also need 1 teaspoon of salt, and then mix everything together and set aside. Okay, so we also need half cup of breadcrumbs and moringa powder, which is we already add in our mixture, a flour mixture. And then if you can't find moringa powder, you may use dried malunggay. Okay, so our second step is the yeast mixture. So we just need 2 and 1/4 teaspoon of dry active yeast, and we also need 1/4 cup of warm water and 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then mix everything together and leave 10 to 15 minutes until it becomes bubbly. So we also need 1/3 cup of melted butter and 1 cup of warm milk. Okay, so your yeast mixture should be like this after 15 to 20 minutes. In a separate bowl, add 2 whole eggs, add the melted butter and the warm milk, and then of course your yeast mixture, and then mix everything together. Okay, so we're gonna add the dry ingredients. Add half of your uh, flour mixture, and then using your spatula just mix everything together, and then add the other half of the dry ingredients. So you might need another 1/4 to 1 cup of flour for kneading later. So it's time to knead the dough. So if you have a stand mixer, you can just simply place your flour mixture into the bowl, and then using the hook attachment, just let the machine do it for you for 15 minutes or less than that. But if you don't have a stand mixer, you can just simply do it in a normal way. So in a working table, just put a little amount of flour, and then knead your dough for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so if your dough is very sticky, just keep on adding a little amount of flour, and then keep on kneading the dough. So we want a very elastic dough. So you just have to keep on kneading until the dough is not sticking into your working table. So just keep kneading until you reach the desired texture of the dough. So just check if if it is elastic. If not, you just keep on kneading and put a little amount of flour. So the texture of your dough should be like this, elastic. And then if you see something like this, like that, the better. So it's time for us to rest the dough. So in a separate bowl, just put a little amount of oil, and then place your dough, and then brush a little amount of oil, and then cover it with a cling wrap or a cheesecloth, and leave it in a warm place, like maybe on top of the refrigerator or um, inside your oven, and leave it for 1.5 to 2 hours until it becomes double the size. Okay, so after 2 hours, the dough will be like this. It become, really big. It double the size. So you have to place your dough into your working table, and then put some flour so that we could divide them into equal parts. So if your dough won't stick on your working table, you don't really need to add or put some flour where you place your dough. So it's time for us to measure or into equal parts. So it's up to you how big you want your bread to be. So for me, I measure it for 35 to 40 grams of dough. So that's gonna be enough for me, the size. Okay, so shape your dough into a ball like, and then cover it with a breadcrumbs, and then place it into the baking sheet. Okay, so after that, we just have to cover your dough with cheesecloth and wait for the dough to rise for another 1 hour. Okay, so your dough should be like this. And then before you bake the dough, just heat your oven to 350 degrees, and then bake it for 15 minutes to 18 minutes. Now it's ready to serve. So this is really good while it's still hot. So try to eat them while it's freshly baked. So this is also very healthy, and I promise you that it's very delicious and very good and fluffy. Um, and you can, if you can find a moringa powder, you may also use a dried malunggay. So thank you for watching and enjoy.